Splitting costs between variable costs and fixed costs is very helpful in trying to predict what profits will be given different levels of activity. And to do that, we have to understand what it means to be variable versus fixed. We're going to go through first the variable cost using a simple example, and I'll show you how that the total variable cost increases with increases in activity, where if you look at it on a per unit basis, it doesn't vary. So let's use a simple example here where you plan on selling t-shirts on campus, and you have to pay $50 rent for a booth, and the shirts will cost you $5 to buy online. You plan on selling these shirts for $15 each. Well, we have two costs here, the rent and then this purchase of the shirts. I want to look at the purchasing of the shirts first. We're going to ignore this $50 for a bit. The reason I want to focus on the $5 is because this is a variable cost, and I'm going to show you why it is. If you buy and sell 10 shirts, you're going to incur $50 in shirt costs. So at 10 shirts, it's 50. If you buy twice that, it's going to be twice as much, and that'll be 100. That's the $5 per shirt times your 20 shirts. And if you buy and sell 30, it'll be 150, and I think you get the idea. So it increases in proportion with the activity. So the more shirts, the more the total variable cost will be. But if you look at the cost per shirt, that's the variable cost per unit, it doesn't vary. So in other words, when you sell 10 shirts, it's still $5 a shirt. Whether you sell 20, it's $5 per shirt, etc. Now fixed costs, on the other hand, let's look at fixed costs. They don't change with levels of activity. Your amount will be the same whether you buy and sell one shirt or 40 shirts. But on a per unit basis, we're going to see that actually the cost per unit goes down because you're going to be able to spread those fixed costs over more shirts. So let's go ahead and look at this example. Our rent is a fixed cost, and the way you can see that it's a fixed cost is that whether you buy and sell 10 shirts, it's $50 rent, or if you buy and sell 40 shirts, it's still $50 worth of rent. Now if you look at the rent on a cost per shirt, your cost per shirt actually is going to decrease, and that's because you're going to spread that $50 over more shirts. So in other words, the $50, if you buy and sell 10 shirts, would only be $5 per shirt, but it'll even be less if you say buy and sell 20 shirts, because $50 divided by 20 would be $2.50, and you can see even less per shirt if you buy and sell 40. So variable costs again don't change per shirt, but yet the fixed cost FC here does decrease over time, or over the number of units. That's what we that's what we refer to as operating leverage. The more fixed costs you have, the more operating leverage you have, which operating leverage is great if you know you can make and sell enough to cover your fixed costs, because once you've covered your fixed cost, every unit above that is going to help add to your bottom line, your profit.